couple of years back, I noticed that I was always sort of agitated, and I couldn't figure out exactly why that was. And then I started doing some research and I started digging into it, and I came across this thing called dopamine detox, which I think a lot of people know what it is, but we often don't realize the things that are part of our life that keeps giving us that dopamine jolt. Not in a deep, meaningful way, in this superficial surface way. One of the things that I realized that I was doing, which again, as I'm reaching for my phone, this thing is a wonderful tool. But the problem is we are letting the tool use us. We're not using the tool. We're not in control anymore. Before, without realizing it, having had all my notifications turned on my phone, I was constantly being prompted all throughout the day to check my phone because it would vibrate or ping or whatever, because my email would go off, my WhatsApp would go off, my Messenger would go off, my Facebook, Instagram, all the different things that we do, all the different communities we're part of, all the apps that we have on our phone, every single app, even a health app, they're built off of getting your attention, right? Because they need you to use it, and that's the primary function, and B, a lot of that is also tied to how the apps make money. Some of them are paid apps. I think a few of us rarely get paid apps because often you need to figure out if the value, if it's worth it. But most of these apps, most of these things, most of these tools are built to utilize our attention and our focus. And how they do that is just this jolt. Hey, pay attention. Hey, look at this. Hey, somebody's trying to reach you. And finally, I got to a point where I realized I've become like Pavlov's dog. I don't know if you know that analogy, but Pavlov was a psychologist, and he used to condition dogs by, I believe, bells, and basically dogs started salivating even before food came because they got conditioned to know that they should anticipate food. We become like that. We become at the beck and call of these devices. We can't stop looking at them. It's bad. Like, it is unhealthy to be this dependent on a inanimate object that honestly doesn't even fulfill a lot of our base needs. So what I did after having done the research and figured out what was going on, I shut off all notifications. I think the only notifications I have now are my phone and my WhatsApp and my calendar, primarily because my calendar is really something that I use to structure my day, my week, my month, my time in terms of appointments, tasks I need to complete, whatever the case may be. But aside from those primary things, everything social media related, even email, I shut it off. Because I decided if I want to check my email, I want to have the intent and the discipline to decide how many times I want to do it, when I want to do it. If I want to do it first thing in the morning, I want to do it lunchtime. If I know I have something coming down the pipeline that is important, I might check it every 2 hours. But for that day, maybe for that week. And then I go back to being normal. That made a huge difference. It literally changed everything for me. It stopped that agitation, this base level of buzzing, of anticipation, of I need to be plugged in. I need to keep an eye on this all the time. What am I missing? No. If you're doing that, if what I'm saying makes sense to you, and if you've felt something like that, try turning off your notifications. Honestly. Because I think the general fear might be that, oh my God, I might miss out something big, something huge. I rarely think that anything, any email even, that comes to us, what we miss, it's not like we don't get back to it within a day or two, right? And so it's this sort of false belief that you need to be on all the time so that you can snatch this thing when it comes, this opportunity comes. And I think honestly that's a lie. It's a lie. It's just something that is fed to us that, we believe now, falsely believe, that makes us stay on these devices and stay plugged in all the time. We don't have to. If anything horrible does happen and you get notified of it, let's say unfortunately somebody close to you passes, or somebody has some kind of, issue that they need help with immediately, there's a chance that you would not even be able to respond to it even if you get that notification. You just might not be in a position to go to this person or reach them in any way. So at that point, what are you supposed to do? You can't do anything. So Obviously, there are edge cases. I'm not saying there aren't, but I'm saying in general, overall, maybe 90 to 95% of the time, most of these things that our phone is trying to communicate to us by nudging us and pinging us and constantly, it can take time to get to that. There's no end of the world scenario typically. So if you're having any issues like this, if you've noticed that, man, I'm constantly sort of on this state of agitation and anticipation and anxiety. And there's a lot of different things that could be contributing to it. But one of the things that you would be surprised that is contributing to it, that you just don't realize it is this. So try turning off your notifications. See how it feels. And I'm betting you're gonna feel better. It's gonna help. And it's gonna help clean up certain habits. Recalibrate your mind and your sort of, your dopamine levels, so that you're not always looking for this jolt that you don't even know why you're looking for.